Hi everyone, Michael Perryman here with MVP Therapy, and I want to welcome you back to my Movement Monday series. So, today I want to talk to you about balance. Um, what kind of things help contribute to us having good balance? Why is balance important? Well, first of all, balance is very important because it helps prevent us from falling and contributing to injuries. Think about everything that we do, whether it be sporting events, whether it be going from a sitting to a standing or from a lane to a sitting position. Everything we do involves some form of balance. Even most of the sports that we do require quite a bit of balance, and there's some sports that require even more balance. Um, but what kind of contributing factors or what kind of things inside our body help us balance and balance well? Well, the first thing that comes to mind is inside our ear is what we call the vestibular system. And the vestibular system is actually connected to the middle part or to our brains, and it relays information back and forth of where our body is in space. Um, so, for example, if I'm starting to lean to the left here, the vestibular system will send information to my brain telling me that I'm leaning to the left, and it will help me take corrective action so I don't fall over and hurt myself. Um, as we age, the cells in the vestibular system also kind of start to die off. And so, of course, as we age and as those cells kind of die off, those the vestibular system can start to be challenged a little bit, and we can start having more accidents and balance and or falls and things like that. There's other things that are very similar to the vestibular system inside our bodies that also kind of do the same thing. And what I'm talking about here is there's also these things called proprioceptors in our bodies. Proprioceptors are located also inside the inner ear. They're also located on tendons and in our joints. And what they do is kind of something very similar to what the vestibular system is, that they relay information to our brain of where our limbs are in space. So I know that my right hand is over here just because the proprioceptors in my joints and in my muscles and tendons are telling my brain that that's where it is. And now, if we've had accidents or injuries, those proprioceptors can be damaged. Um, the good news is that they can be re-educated and helped to communicate that information quicker, so we don't fall over or injure ourselves anymore. There's other things inside our body that help contribute to our balance. One of the big ones is visual acuity. Actually, in most of our balance is based off of visual acuity. So if we take away our eyesight, if you're ever just standing still and you take away your eyesight, most people will kind of start swaying back and forth. And so, our eyesight is a big one. Other things are things like blood pressure. Think about it. If you've ever sat up from a sitting to a standing position and all of a sudden you feel lightheaded, well, that's because your blood pressure might have dropped. You might have gotten dizzy. You might have done some other things, and those things can contribute to balance. So, and other things, of course, are reflexes and coordination. Um, so all these things contribute to, keeping our bodies balancing and balancing well. And as we age, some of these things can start to be challenges. I mentioned earlier, like our vestibular system. If we've had injuries to any of our joints or to our limbs, those proprioceptors can be damaged. Of course, if we have blood pressure problems, those things can contribute to not balancing and falling over. Other things like having a good muscle mass and good lean muscle tissue, which helps to keep our bodies and our skeletal systems upright and strong and stable. Those things will also help contribute to us balancing and balancing well. Um, so how can we improve our balance and prevent falls and other things? Well, there's actually quite a bit of things you can do. Um, first of all, the first one I would think of is to stay active. Get on an exercise routine. Keep that lean muscle tissue in your body. Do some strength training, which helps to build good, strong bones as well. Um, And there's a couple other things, but what leads me to my Movement Monday tip is my next thing that I'll tell you about. So stay with me. I'm just going to grab a TheraBall or an exercise ball and I'll show you what I'm talking about. I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm back. So my Movement Monday tip is really based on those of you that might be elderly that have had maybe some falls, some injuries, maybe have had some hip replacements, or anything that's where your balance is, you struggle with your balance more so than maybe some of the average person. But either way, whether you're in that category or whether you you just have some slight balance issues, these tips can help you improve your balance. The first one I'll tell you about, and I don't really need to demonstrate. I can just kind of talk to you about what I would like you to do or how this can help you. When anytime you're working with balance, you want to challenge your balance, but you want to start small. So the first one I would tell you that if you're having troubles with balance is first just try to stand in one place with your eyes open and just try to stand there. And if you do okay with that, that's great. Awesome. Now you can move to the next progression. And the progression for that is now just stand there, both feet on the ground, shoulder width apart. If you want to kind of start moving your feet closer together, maybe where you're not gonna have such a wide stance, that will help challenge your balance. But then now close your eyes. See how well you do. If you're kind of swaying all over the place and you're moving, maybe you need to spend some time just there. Make sure you always have maybe around you maybe a chair or something like that. That way, if you are going to fall, you can grab onto that and help prevent yourself from falling, or have a spouse or a friend or anyone else there to help make sure that you just don't have get injured. So then if you're moving quite a bit, spend some time just doing that on a day-to-day basis. Spend some time just standing there with your eyes closed. If once that becomes somewhat easy to do, then maybe get maybe a pillow, something to create a little bit of an uneven surface. And as you maybe double the pillow up, or you have some other exercise equipment that helps to challenge that, like maybe a Bosu ball or anything like that. Those things can, if you want to stand on those can help challenge your balance. But as you continue to progress, go from standing, then standing with your eyes closed. And then if that gets easy and you're able to do that, well then now maybe try standing with your eyes open on one leg. See how well you do. See if you can hold it for 10 seconds and stay in a relatively stationary position. If that gets easy, then now move to eyes closed. Now one-legged with eyes closed. The other thing that you can do that's a really, really good one is having one of these Bosu balls here. And I'm going to back this up here and kind of just adjust the camera so you can see what I'm talking about. These Bosu balls, these exercise balls, are really good at helping you with balance. And if you sit on them, like I'm going to, I'll show you here. So I'm going to sit on this balance ball like this. And I'm going to have my feet somewhat close together because I don't want to have a wide stance. Otherwise, I'm just going to stand here and nothing's going to knock me over. But if the less wide you go, the more your balance is going to. And then if you start just kind of rocking your hips back and forth and kind of moving the ball, maybe doing some circles, counterclockwise, clockwise, you'll notice that if you really struggle with your balance, you'll start to want to fall. And so just spend some time there trying to let your brain and your muscles kind of communicate, and do this daily. And then as you continue to progress with this, maybe now if two legs is easy, maybe just go to eyes closed, like so. And then if you get to a point where that's easy, then lift one leg. You can see here, I struggle a little bit with that here. So now I'm sitting on the ball, one leg is up, and one leg is just balancing on the floor and trying to keep me stationary. Um, and then after you spend, maybe try to do 2 sets of 10 seconds where you're holding that position. Then go to the other leg. Can I do 10 seconds there without preventing myself from falling? Again, always make sure you have a safety, whether it be a table or something that you can hold on a friend or spouse, something that can help you prevent you from falling, because we obviously don't want to have any injuries. Again, I want to thank you for watching my Movement Monday series. My name is Michael Perryman. As I mentioned earlier, I own MVP Therapy. And if you need any additional help, please don't hesitate to call me at 480-532-1219. If you want to check me out on my Facebook page, again, at facebook.com/MVP Therapy AZ. And also go check out my website at www.mvptherapyaz.com. And again, please don't hesitate to reach out. I also I know I mentioned this in the past, but I also offer free evaluations. So if you're struggling and you have some questions or concerns, want to know how I might be able to help you, please give me a ring and reach out to me. We'd love to be able to talk with you, help out in any way I can. Thanks again for watching my Movement Monday series on balance, and I'll see you guys next week.